Welcome, everybody. Today, I'm actually going to be sharing 10 items that I sold recently. All these items that I'm going to share are items that I have purchased on eBay and flipped on Amazon within the last week. So I'm excited to share some of these items with you guys to hopefully inspire you to start selling on Amazon, or maybe inspire you to start selling some of these various items and replens that I'm flipping in my business. I am exposing the products that I'm buying. I'm sharing what I bought them for. I'm going to share with you the eBay invoices I used the proof that I purchased them. I'm going to share my Amazon orders so you can see that I actually sold them, pictures, ASINs, all that information. So we're gonna have a bunch of fun today. Okay, awesome. So what I did is I went into my Amazon orders 2 days ago, I think. Yeah. No, yesterday. This is when I got all these slides ready. I went in yesterday and I went over like my sales over the last 7 days, and I picked out 10 items. Normally in the past, what I would do on these calls is I would only show like the items that were like basic, like simple items that everybody can buy, like cheap stuff, like just like basic singles and doubles, a lot of DVDs, because I know a lot of people aren't necessarily ungated. But this time I decided to switch things up. Not only am I going to share a couple DVDs that I flipped over the last week, but I'm going to share some items that, might require you to get ungated. Some items that you may have never thought that you can buy and resell on Amazon, some tools, some electronics, some weird brands, some weird items that you're going to probably scratch your head and say, is this guy full of it? And what you're going to do is you're going to go on Amazon and verify it. But the good thing is I'm one step ahead of you guys because I'm sharing my eBay invoice and I'm sharing my orders. So nobody could say anything. I'm sharing all the receipts. I'm sharing all the proof. So yeah, let's get into things. And if you guys have any questions during today's call, the whole goal of this is to, answer your guys' questions, help you, inspire you. And if you have any questions, drop a comment down below. These calls are typically pretty small. So if you have a question and you leave a comment, I'm going to answer it for you. So let's get into it. So I already gave my disclaimer. Keep in mind, some of these items I'm selling are a bit more advanced. So if you're a brand new seller and you've never sold an item before on Amazon, it's not highly recommended to start, buying electronics that cost $180 and flipping them for $360. Not really recommended. You probably, aren't going to be able to sell them anyways. You'll probably be gated. But even if you did get ungated, it's not really smart to start selling on Amazon like with high ticket products, especially electronics and tools, which have a lot of nuances and risks involved, which, I'll talk about and answer questions transparently with everybody. But like I say in a lot of my videos, I can only share what I'm doing. I'm going to share with you exact items I'm flipping, and you might like it because you could sell it, and you might not like it because you might be gated. But again, I'm here to be transparent and just share, the different items that I'm selling. And we'll start it off with an item that, and let me explain things first. Okay. Let me close out this tab. Okay, perfect. So what you're going to see on the screen for every 10 of these items are screenshots. So what I did is I took a screenshot of my purchase. So does everybody see on the left-hand side, put a 1 if you could see my eBay purchase. This is actually my eBay invoice, okay? Like when you buy an item on eBay, you could go in and you can see what you purchased. So you can see right here, I ordered this. My team ordered this on February 6th, and we paid $339.92. We bought 8 of these, which is pretty rare. Usually I'm only buying 1 or 2, but we popped on 8 of these. And if you take $339.92 divided by 8, that's how you get my price of $42.49. Does that make sense? So you can see in my custom SKU, every time I sell an item, I can see it went to my prep center, a little all prep. You can see how much I paid per item. You can see the date that we purchased it, and you can see who purchased it. If you're wondering who's Gia, that's my fantastic virtual assistant in the Philippines who does all of my purchasing. Gia and also Jane. You're not going to see the name Steve very often, maybe one, because I'm at the point now in my business where I don't purchase anymore. I've trained people to do it because this isn't something that is only able to be done by me and you. We could train other people to do it. Of course, not right off the bat. I've been doing eBay to Amazon and selling on Amazon for 12 years, eBay to Amazon 4 years. But I just want to be clear of what you're seeing here. So you see the eBay invoice on the left-hand side, top right-hand side. Does everybody know what that is? That is a screenshot from inside of your Amazon account. So if you go into your orders on your Amazon account, you can see all of your orders. So this is a screenshot of my order. Okay. So you can see I bought it on eBay. You can see I sold it on Amazon. You can see my custom SKU. You can see that my date of purchase on the eBay side of things and on Amazon is the same. Sometimes it will be one day off just because my team is in the Philippines. So sometimes they don't get to it to the next day. So it could be a day off in terms of how they mark the date for the custom SKU. And then the bottom right-hand side, does everybody know what this is? This is a screenshot from inside of Seller Amp. Okay. So Seller Amp is a product research tool. It's also a tool that you can use to pretty much break down your numbers. So before my team and I purchase an item, we always put in our buy cost, we put in our selling price, and we analyze it. It also will share like the best seller rank per the category, the estimated amount of sales per month that they pull from Keepa, and you can break down your profit and everything. Okay. So this is what I did. I went through all the items and I put it into Seller Amp so you can see how much profit I ended up making. So I just want to make sure I'm going to pull myself. Actually, I can see the comments right now. Does everybody understand kind of like what you're looking at here? Amanda says no longer fake guru, right? He's showing proof for once. Jerry says, how can you trust your VA with your credit card? So this is a great question because my mom is actually finally getting ready to take, eBay to Amazon serious because the thrift stores have gone to shit in our area. They're just really bad. The prices are high. The quality of books and different products are just really in the gutter. So she had the same question for me. We were talking today at Whole Foods. She was asking me, and I said, Mom, the way it works is on your eBay account, you put your credit card into eBay and it gets stored into eBay. And what I do is I give my virtual assistants login access to my eBay account. I don't give them permissions because permissions on eBay, like the functionality doesn't work very well. So they won't be able to buy on your behalf. You have to give them the login and password. But the thing is, they can only see the last 4 digits of your credit card. So, obviously when you hire a new virtual assistant, you're not going to just give them full access to start buying on your behalf because you don't know them from Joe Smo. But it's, it's similar to like if you're in a relationship, right? You're dating a guy or a girl, like you're not going to invite them over the house and have them stay over the first night. I mean, I know some of you guys are pretty crazy and probably will do that, but some of us are trying to be respectful here. But it's just like a relationship. You slowly give out trust. It could be a friendship, an intimate relationship, or a business partnership. It's the same exact thing. So, this was a process over time, but they can't see your credit card, Jerry. They can only see the last 4 digits, if that makes sense. How many of those 8 do you expect to sell in a month? I would have to go in and analyze it, but I can't see that on the screen. And I made the mistake of not putting the direct links, but maybe afterwards we could do some research. But typically we're trying to only keep a month of stock in at a time. So this might take a couple of months to sell 8 quantity, but I'm telling you guys right now, if you looked at my Amazon store, 95% plus of my inventory only has 1 quantity. So the reason we picked up so many of these, I would just assume why my team did, is because, it was a 67% ROI. If I was to go look at my orders, we probably sold a bunch of these. I know we've been buying these things for like 3 years. So we've probably sold, 50, 60, 70 of these toners over the last 4 years. So that's probably why they picked up so many. But hopefully that answers your question. All right. So paid $42.49 for this Canon toner. You will have to get ungated for Canon. Trying to remember what website I used. I think I used Adorama.com to get ungated for Canon. I'm pretty sure ADORAMA. I believe that's it. I have a video on my YouTube channel. If you type in how to get ungated in Canon, I believe I have a video on that. But sold it for $91.69. $28 profit on this item right here, 67% ROI, and I sourced it with Replen Catcher. So if you guys aren't sure what Replen Catcher is, You can check it out, replencatcher.com. It's a tool that will allow you to source from almost 2 million products that the database is pretty much tracking and monitoring on eBay and comparing it to Amazon. And anytime products come available for 30, 40, 50, 60% ROI, 5, 10, $20 profit, it brings those deals to you and you essentially buy them. Now, a lot of times we find our deals because what we do is we track our best replens on Replen Catcher. So any item you've ever sold before on Amazon, you could track it on Replen Catcher, and anytime it pops up available on eBay at a good price, you can buy it. So if you guys want to hear more about that later on, we can definitely talk about it. But not a bad item right here. 143,000 rank in office supply, only 11 sales per month. It's not a very popular, sexy, fast selling item. But the good thing about items like this is you're typically not going to have a ton of competition just because these are discontinued. They're not easy to find. They're not easy to source. Although we find them on eBay from time to time, and that's probably why they bought 8, because there was someone who was selling 8 of them. We popped on them all. Missouri liquidation, bada bing, bada boom. We'll see how that goes. All right. Sale number 2. Anybody here sell DVDs? Let me know in the comments if you guys are selling DVDs. I know a lot of you guys are selling books. Anybody here selling DVDs? I love DVDs. I mean, DVDs are just great. They're easy to ship. They're small. They're lightweight. I typically sell new DVDs, so you don't have to inspect them. I mean, 99% of the items I flip from eBay to Amazon are brand new, sealed. Just got to make sure it is actually new and it's sealed. Don't sell a used DVD as new. But I've sold thousands and thousands of DVDs. When I first started flipping from eBay to Amazon back in 2021, 2022, 1 year I sold like 8,000 DVDs just in 1 year, all new for the most part, like 95% new. They sell quick. They sell really quick. I love DVDs, especially if you sell new. There's not a ton of competition. If you keep your sales rank between 30 to 80,000, that's my sweet spot. They'll fly off the shelf. You can certainly flip them up to 125, 150,000, but they typically get a bit slower selling on Amazon when you go over 100,000 rank. Judith says, just started selling DVDs. You're going to love it, Judith. Blaine says, got into selling DVDs through Steve. It's a great category. Blaine, I love it, brother. Miss you, man. I haven't seen you since Oklahoma. Am I going to be seeing you, Blaine, in Miami for the Miami Seller Conference? Jerry says, how do we know the ranking for DVDs? So I use a tool called SellerAmp. So if you just Google SellerAmp, it's a Chrome extension, and it'll essentially pop up on your sales page, SellerAmp, and you'll be able to see what the rank is of the product and also see like how many sales per month. Like right here, let me break this one down. We paid $17 for this December 23rd, 2024, and we just sold this. So it did take quite a few months to sell. We sold it for $38. Not a home run. Nothing sexy, nothing super special, but it did make $10.19 profit, which comes to a 59% ROI. Only 6 sales per month, even though the rank was 29,000. If I was to look back throughout maybe some Keepa history or some Keepa data, this is probably like, an 80, 100,000 rank all day long. It's just if an item sells, the rank's going to drop down really low. And then as it doesn't sell, the rank's going to jump back up. But took a little bit to sell. We bought this on eBay for $17, as you can see, from an eBay seller called the General Store 11. This was the end of December, so January, February. I mean, this took a little over 2 months to sell, but not bad, turning $17 into $10 profit within less than 2 months. Not bad at all. This is a DVD. The Wiggles, Space Dancing from 2003. 2003. So if somebody wants to watch this for whatever reason, you're not walking into Walmart or Best Buy to get this. You've got to come on to eBay or Amazon. And people are willing to pay a lot more money on Amazon because, again, they think they're buying it from Amazon, which they are, but they're actually getting it from a third-party seller such as myself or yourself. They love that free 2-day Prime shipping. They love the hassle-free returns. And again, you can see right here, my eBay purchase receipt, my Amazon order, 17 to 38 after fees and everything, $10 profit, 59% ROI. Now you might be thinking, well, Steve, I don't want to put up $17 to make $10. And, I totally get it. You might be used to going to thrift stores and library sales where you pay $1 and sell it for 12 or 14 bucks. But the thing is about eBay to Amazon, it's definitely a bit more capital intensive. But the best part is you can use software like Replen Catcher to source the deals for you. You can do it 100% from home. You could source anytime. You can become tax exempt. I don't pay any tax on any of my purchases. I have a video on my channel breaking down how to do that. You can train people to source for you for as little as $3 to $4 an hour. That's what I pay. My virtual assistants in the Philippines, they do get incentives though, for hitting, various metrics and whatnot. And you don't even have to see or touch the products. I drop ship all these products directly from eBay to my prep center in Ohio, Little Owl Prep. Shout out to Frank. They will essentially receive the items. They will inspect them. They will box them up, ship the items to Amazon FBA on my behalf. And then I essentially get paid. So Jerry says, I have hundreds of DVDs, Blu-rays from back in the day. Any reasons not to FBA? I wouldn't FBA them if they're like only going to make a couple dollars profit and they're like 140, 150,000 rank, just because they're going to sit and you're going to start getting hit with like long-term storage fees after 6 months. If they're only going to make a couple of bucks or they're slow selling, over 100,000 rank, I would, just merchant fulfill them. But typically the reason people FBA their items is because you can get a prime bump on the items, which means you can sell the items for more via FBA. Customers are willing to pay more via FBA to be able to get that free 2-day shipping versus buying from a merchant where it might take 7 to 14 days for them to receive the item. And then, there's no hassle-free returns. It's a pain in the butt dealing with merchants, so on and so forth. So, yeah. What's up, Dina? Blaine says, great to see you. I won't be at Miami Seller Conference this year. It's too close to the baby being born. Okay, well, congratulations on having a baby. That's fantastic. You've got a couple now, right? All right, let's get into the next item. And for the folks who are just coming in right now, what I am doing is I am sharing 10 items that I purchased on eBay that I then flipped on Amazon. So if you take a look in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see that I purchased this DVD. This is the exact receipt of the exact item that I purchased. I purchased this Mel Brooks collection DVD. Well, I didn't, because if you look at my custom SKU in the top right-hand corner, my virtual assistant, Jane, purchased this on January 27th, 2025, and we paid $78.63 after we purchased the item on ebay.com using Replen Catcher. Guys, check that out, replencatcher.com. We then had the item shipped directly to my prep center in Ohio, Little Owl Prep. Once they received it, they boxed it up along with the other items that I shipped them, and then they sent it out to FBA. This item we bought for $78.63. We sold it in about a month after checking and everything for $142.99. The proof is in the pudding. You can see my eBay receipt and my Amazon order screenshot. This item ended up making $36.44, 46% ROI, and it's a little bit more of a popular item. Be careful with DVDs like this. Maybe we can go in and do some research at the end of this. But certain DVDs under 20,000 rank, I get a little bit scared and nervous about them being counterfeit. I'd have to do some more research on this, but my team is pretty well trained to look for various red flags, I'll put it. Some red flags for counterfeit DVDs are going to be, number one, if it's under 20,000 rank, which this one is, scares me a little bit, but I know we've sold this before without any problems. If the eBay sellers have multiple quantities available and it's under 20,000 rank, that tends to worry me a little bit, just because that's what the bootleggers like to do. They like to have multiple quantities available. So yeah, 46% ROI, nothing special, but $36 profit on this item right here. Now here's a toy that I flipped. This is a pretty good little replen for anyone who does eBay to Amazon right here. If you're ungated, does anybody flip any Nickelodeon stuff or toys? Let me know. Does anybody sell toys? I love selling new toys from eBay to Amazon. It is probably, it might be my number one category that I flip from eBay to Amazon is toys. So that's going to be board games. That's going to be action figures. That's going to be, little thingamajiggies like this. I guess this is somewhat of like a figure in a sense. Yeah, it's a little figure set. Tommy, Chucky, Phil, Lil, Angelica. Oh, Angelica, she was such a little brat. Paid $32 on this item right here. This is a good Replen, guys. I've sold this before many times. We bought this January 19th. Matter of fact, look who bought this item. Look at my custom SKU. I bought this item, baby. What's up? I'm doing it. What do you got on me, Jane and Gia? Not a super popular item. Only 2 sales per month, 194,000 rank in the toy category. Popped on this puppy for $32, flipped it for $85.99. That's 109% ROI, $35 profit, 100% from home. This is what I love about eBay to Amazon flipping. This is what I love about Amazon to Amazon flipping, using Replen Catcher, using BookMine, maybe using FlipMine. I love using these softwares where I can literally buy items from home, have it shipped directly to me, or in my case, my prep center, and then turning around, sending it to FBA, letting FBA store it, letting FBA deal with the customer service, letting FBA package the items up when they sell, pick it, package, ship it, send it to the customer, deal with any customer service, and then we get paid. I'm telling you guys, this stuff is, I love it. Once I learned about eBay to Amazon back in 2021, 2022, if you guys watch my channel, you noticed not a lot of thrift store videos, not a lot of going to the pawn shops and the library sales, which I think is great. But man, if I would have known about this in 2016 or 2017, 2018, I would have gotten, I hate to say I would have gotten rich, but selling on Amazon's a lot harder nowadays, right? Back in 2017 and 18, there were no restrictions and gating, and the fees were a lot less, and the long-term storage fees and the competition. I mean, I kick myself, but hey, everything happens for a reason. I'm grateful that I learned about eBay to Amazon in 2021, 2022, but damn, if I would have learned about this in 2015, 16, 17, oh, anyone ever have that happen before where like you find something that is so freaking good and you're like, what if I would have found this 5 years ago or 7 years ago? It's crazy. But the funny thing is my mom and I were saying that about like thrifting books in like 2016. What if we found this in 2014 or 13, right? But this is a great flip right here, guys. 2017 Nickelodeon Rugrats collector figure set. Again, take a look at the eBay receipt right here. You can see it, $32 out the door, shipped to the prep center, sold February, March. So probably took about like a month and a half after getting checked in. Bada bing, bada boom. The profits, they've already come very soon. Flip number 5. Look at this thing right here. What do you guys know about the Tater Twister? Paid $63.25 for the 1990 Presto Potato Tater Twister electric curly French fry cutter 02930. Would I be a good auctioneer? Probably not. Paid $63.25. You could see that I sold this for $129.99. We bought this on February 2nd, sold within about a month for $129.99. We slapped those numbers into SellerAmp. We slapped it into SellerAmp. Paid $63.25, sold for $129.99 after fees, $35 profit, 55% ROI. And this is an item that we track in the Replen Catcher. So we've got this inside of the Replen Catcher, and anytime this item becomes available on eBay for more than a 40% ROI, we get a notification within the Replen Catcher software. And what do? We bada bing, bada boom. The profits are coming soon. We go in, we buy it, or we make best offers. And this is an item that, I had to become a bit more comfortable selling items like this. I don't know. Do any of you guys sell like some of these old, weird little kitchen items that are like 20, 25 years old? I sell quite a few of them. The boxes tend to be a little bit beat up. It's a little older, but what do you expect? I mean, does an Amazon customer think that an item that is from 1990, I mean, what is that? I was born in 87, which makes me 37 years old. So that means this was, holy crap. Guys, I'm flipping items as new that are 34 years old. It is new though. It's new in the box, but the box might, have a little bit of wear, a little tear. But I have sold hundreds, not of this specific item, but I have sold hundreds of items that are 15, 20, 25 years old, new in the box. It's never been used. It's not opened, but the box, it might not look the best, but I've never had any issues. I've never, had any problems with it, surprisingly, but it took me a little while to get comfortable. But look at this right here, $35 profit, 55% ROI. Who's enjoying this video, guys? Put a 1 in the comments if you're enjoying this. Let me know. Is anyone here using Replen Catcher or FlipMine? Is anybody doing any eBay to Amazon sourcing? I'd love to know, how you guys are sourcing. Are you guys flipping any of these items so far? I'm going to start getting into some more crazy items. I say it's crazy because you're not going to believe that I'm selling some of these items for what I sell them for. But let me know if you guys are enjoying this. Let's get into the comments. Chris says, "Hey, Steve, we had a call a couple weeks ago. Big help." What's up, Chris? Yes, man. It was great to chat with you. Still gated in Nickelodeon. I think I'm gated in Nickelodeon too, but for some reason, I think it's under a different brand, that listing. Someone might have to check for me, but I'm pretty sure I'm gated in Nickelodeon, which is weird. I don't know how I'm selling it, but I did, obviously. I mean, Scout IQ, Scoutly, Jerry, both great apps for scanning. I think Scoutly's a little bit cheaper. I think the community lately has been, saying a lot more good things about Scoutly versus Scout IQ. But I don't really use them anymore because I don't really go out in the field and source anymore. Literally the only apps that I'm using nowadays for eBay to Amazon is I'm using Replen Catcher, Keepa, SellerAmp, IP Alert, and then I use Be Cool for my repricing. And then I have QuickBooks for my bookkeeping. Those are the main softwares that I'm using. Go-To-Lister, although I don't list with it anymore because I have a prep center, but I use that for tracking like some profit analytics and different things like that. They have a really cool app. But that's pretty much it right now. And Bookmine, I do use Bookmine from time to time, but not a ton right now because I'm, mostly immersed in the eBay to Amazon. Okay, cool. Awesome. What's up, Dylan? What's up, Sarah? Suzanne? Okay, perfect. Let's keep going here. So Leo says, FlipMine, new to Replen Catcher. Love it. Sweet. Sean, FlipMine and SellerAmp need to add Replen Catcher. Awesome. Chris, been using a lot of Keepa. Yeah, Chris, you're killing it with the Keepa, dude. All right. Here's another DVD right here. I wanted to share this one. I have shared this in the past, but this is a really good one, guys. I flipped this one a bunch. Requires a little bit more capital. Usually you're not going to get 70, 80, 90% ROIs on this one, but you'll see this on Replen Catcher. You'll see this on FlipMine. This is a good one right here. I've sold this quite a bit. Rest in peace to Robin Williams. This is a big DVD set. I don't know how many DVDs come in it, but it's a huge set. It's pretty big. It's Robin Williams Comic Genius Deluxe set. I flip new, guys, but you might be able to sell this used. I'm not sure what this is selling for used, but this one I paid $104.63. It's a 50,000 rank at the time of this recording, 6 sales per month. So this did take a little bit of time to sell, February, March. Yeah, so it took a couple months to sell, but I made a 40% ROI on this DVD right here. But it was a $42 profit. $42 profit. Now you might be thinking to yourself, Steve, I don't have 40 bucks to spend on an item or $100 for a DVD. Can I use these softwares or can I manually source without a software? Yes, you can. Can you source these items for 5 to 10 bucks? Yes, you can. But the reason I like to focus on the higher end stuff is because it sells just as quick. The returns are just as normal, right? I don't find the higher end stuff like DVDs have any higher of a return rate, and it's a lot less work. So, it depends, I guess, on your cash flow. If you don't have a lot of cash flow, then okay, you're gonna have to flip a $30 DVD 5 times to get $40 profit. Whereas I could just flip it once. So that's kind of like my mindset. How can I do the least amount of work and make the most amount of money possible? And in 2024, I've shared my results. I don't have a screenshot here, but I sold like 6,400 items for $707,000. That came to about $111 average selling price. So the average item I'm selling is $111. Now, does that mean that's what you need to do? Absolutely not. Everybody has a different, amount of capital, risk tolerance. I'm ungated in a lot of items because I've been flipping for 10 to 12 years, but I could only share what I'm doing, guys. I flip a lot of high ticket stuff, but I wanted to share this because I love Robin Williams. I love his films. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. But yeah, good item to be on the lookout for. I don't know if any of you guys have ever flipped this one before, but yeah, pretty cool. Um, okay, I want to share with you guys uh, a bad flip. You know, you see a lot of people on YouTube and they're always sharing the wins. They're always sharing the good, you know. I'll be honest, the six flips I've shared up until this point, they're just normal flips. I haven't even shared like the super home runs that I have just because I don't want to be that guy who just shares like the cream of the crop and then you go and do it and you're like, what the? This guy is so full of it. Like, I never want to be perceived as that. I want to share, maybe a couple really good flips, which I'm going to share, but I want to share the average ones, but also I want to share the losers. This is a loser. Why is it a loser? Check this out. I bought this October 26th. Okay. And I don't have the Keepa graph up, but I analyzed this beforehand because I wanted to figure out, like why this thing did what it did. But we paid 35 for this in 2024, end of October. It just wouldn't sell. It wouldn't sell. For some reason, we weren't winning the buy box. Sellers were tanking the price. We were fighting. There was repricers attacking each other. I don't know what the heck happened, but this thing just ended up tanking in price and it just wouldn't sell. And we just kept lowering the price over and over again. And when you have a lot of capital in your business, like me, sometimes I have $20,000 to $40,000, sometimes $50,000 out in the business at any given time between the value of my inventory and, the money that I'm spending on products and products that are getting checked in and products that we're purchasing that haven't been delivered yet. It's a real thing, cash flow. So I need to move my inventory. In my business, most of my items are selling within 1 month, a month and a half, 2 months. Really, if it goes over 2 months, we're going to start liquidating these items. And after 2 months, we're really trying to lose money because we just need to get back our capital as fast as possible to reinvest it in products that are going to be winners. This was a loser. Okay. So you guys can look this up on Keepa. You can see what happened. I should have taken a screenshot. I apologize, but we ended up losing 74 cents on this item. So not a big deal. Like very, very, very rarely do I ever lose money. Why? Not because I'm so special. I wish I was, but because the margins are so high and the competition is so low. And when I say competition, like there's usually only 3, 4, or 5 sellers on the listings I'm competing against. Why? Because the items I'm sourcing from eBay using Replen Catcher are discontinued. They're not very popular. They're not very sexy. These aren't the types of items you're going to be seeing Flip for Miles and, Fields of Profit and Warner and all these guys talking about on YouTube because they're not very sexy. You're not going to be able to buy 20, 30, 40, or 50. Like there's work that's involved in this. But the cool thing is you could systematize and outsource it to a prep center. Point I want to make at the end of the day is not everything's going to pan out the way that you want. And this lost money. I paid 35. We ended up having to clear it out at 47.85. So this didn't make any money. We sat on this. We literally just had $35 in our business sitting around for November, December, January, February, March, 5 months doing nothing because it just wouldn't sell. But the lesson here is you have to know how quickly you need to get your money back. For a lot of booksellers, they're willing to get their price after 6 months. I can't do that in my business. I have too much money in these products. So after a month, I'm cutting the prices. After 2 months, I'm really starting to cut them down. After 3 months, we're trying to liquidate. Now, you don't want to do it in a silly way. If you've already liquidated it to a point where you're the lowest price, there's really no point in dropping it another 40% unless the Keepa data is showing you that in the past it was selling at that price. So, we pretty much hit rock bottom here, but yeah, it happens. Anyone here ever have to sell items for a loss? We do from time to time, but yeah. Chris says, I've been using a lot of Keepa. Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace to this right here. All right, let's get into a good one, guys. So here's a Replen. Okay, this is a crazy little item right here. Now, sometimes people, they like to ask me, Steve, what exactly is this item that you're selling? What is this? What is a Polycom 2200 TC8 P020 8-inch touch control display panel? What is that, Steve? Can you guys explain to me what is this? I have no idea. Let that register. I have no idea what this item is. Supposedly, it's a touchscreen display. For what? I do not know what this thing is used for, but we have sold this thing a bunch. When it comes to some of these electronics and some of these tools, I don't know what they are. But you want to know what we do know? We know how to read a Keepa chart. We know how to look to see if the brand is on the listing, which would mean it would be a higher risk of getting an IP complaint. We know what it looks like when we're looking at SellerAmp for an item to be selling. This thing's selling 34 times a month. We know that a 200,000 rank in the office supply category is going to be good, solid. Look at this item, guys. We paid $231.02 per item, but we did buy 3 of them. So we paid $693.05 on this. I don't know why in the picture it's only showing 2. There must have been another one hidden. But in any event, we paid $693 for 3 of these, which comes out to $231.02. We sold this item for $410.99. And we didn't just sell it once. If you guys take a look here, you can see I sold this February 24th, 2025. Yeah, because we bought this in January of 2025. So it probably took a couple weeks to get checked in. Who knows? Maybe it got checked in 3 weeks later. You guys know how things go on Amazon. You send it to FBA, it could get checked in 5 days, it get checked in 50 days. But regardless, it probably got checked in 2 or 3 weeks and started selling. I mean, it sold on the 24th for $410.99. It sold on the 25th for $410.99. And then it sold 5 days ago, which, what is today? Today's the 17th. So, yeah. So wait, what is the date today? Today's the 18th. So that was like 6 days ago, because I took these screenshots yesterday. It sold again for $410.99. So we have sold out. So we made $138, and I'm opening up my calculator here. So let's see how much money we made here. So we made $138 and a penny times 3. So we made $414 on these items, which is pretty cool. Polycom. Polycom is the brand. I love this. Let me know if you guys are gated or restricted. Anybody here? Anyone selling these items? Let me see if I can get these comments up on the screen. Anybody flipping any high ticket stuff? No, everybody's selling books and DVDs. Yeah. I'm a lonely man here making money by myself. Who would have thought that? I'm just on an island making money by myself. Everyone's like, yeah, nope. It's not real. It's not real, Steve. It's all an illusion. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool flip. I guess I'll be the only one proud of myself. And then number 2, or excuse me, flip number 9. This was an item. I wish Aaron was here, because I know Aaron loves to flip these types of items. This is an amiibo game. Metroid and Samus Aran, a 2-pack action figure toy item, 56,000 ranked, 3 sales, paid 100, sold it for 168.31. Not really where I want to be. Usually I want to be at a 50% ROI plus. This was a 35% ROI, brand new sealed. One thing I'll warn you about, though, with these amiibos and even like Funko Pop, you got to be careful. These collectors are very, very particular about the condition. So a lot of these are very fragile. They can get damaged easily. They can get dented up. So I really try to advise my team not to buy these types of items. But we've sold this particular one quite a few times in the past. But yeah, we bought it December 17th. And it's interesting that we bought this December 17th, because I told my team to stop buying the whole month. I don't know. Did I buy this? No, Jane did. Interesting. Regardless, 35% ROI, $35 profit. Yeah, ROI and profit are the same. Only 3 sales per month, 56,000 rank. And then last but not least is another item that, again, I'll be a lone survivor on the island, because I doubt anyone here is probably flipping these items. But if we had Aaron here, if we had Amanda from 2023, she might be flipping these. Or if we had Seth here, or if we had Josiah here, it's interesting. But regardless, this brand is Husky. Okay, so this is a wrench air tool. I paid $122 for 3 of them, which comes out to about $40 and change. Flipped it for $80.99. This is an item a lot of resellers are going to pass up. Why? Because it's a 600,000 rank. It's funny to me. A lot of people that don't have the experience, who just like to talk out of their you know what, who aren't actually living the life of being a reseller, will say, I only flip tools under 200,000 rank. I ain't going to touch anything higher than that. Fine, don't. I'll touch it. I'll scoop it up. I've sold a whole bunch of these things. And 51% ROI, 100% from home, purchased on eBay, drop shipped to Little Owl Prep in Ohio for a $20 profit. I sell these things all the time. Keep an eye out for it. That is Husky. And those are the 10 items that I flipped from eBay to Amazon. Ta-da! Does anybody have any questions? Leo says losing a few items here and there is normal. I view it as a strikeout, no big deal. Yeah, I mean, it happens from time to time. I mean, it's funny. A lot of booksellers, it's not funny, but a lot of booksellers, they might not sell 20 or 30% of their inventory. It just never sells. The thing that I love about eBay to Amazon is most of it always sells because I'm cherry picking it. These items are selling quickly. I'm not going after a lot of slow selling long tail items. Amanda says, I'm proud of you, Steve. Make that money. I'll make it all by myself. Nobody else wants to make it. You know what the funny thing is? I feel like I'm all by myself doing eBay to Amazon, but what I've realized is eBay to Amazon flippers, I think, are like more behind the scenes. Like they don't want to talk. They don't want to share. Like they're just like, they're making money and they don't want to like admit it. It's funny because I have the data with Replen Catcher. Like I can literally see in the last month that people have spent over $400,000 on Replen Catcher buying from eBay, but nobody talks about it. It's almost like, well, if we don't talk about it, it's not happening and I'm not going to have any competition. But I'm not worried about it because there's so many items out there. So many items. It's ridiculous. Chris says, hey, Steve, I was wondering a good site to get ungated and DVD brands like HBO, BBC. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I just use christianbook.com. I think some of those, as you sell more and more DVDs, I'm guessing they'll probably start to like auto engage you in maybe some of those, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if anybody knows, but I haven't had to get ungated in any of those. So dials or dills, Dylan's deals. I've flipped this. I've done it Facebook Marketplace to eBay and eBay to Amazon. That's actually how I started, dude. I started flipping from Facebook Marketplace to Amazon before eBay to Amazon. That's what I did for multiple months because I think this was 2021. Facebook Marketplace had a promotion where, say there was a board game that you can buy. Like I started by flipping brand new Pictionary board games from Facebook to Amazon. So say for example, back in 2021, you could buy a Pictionary board game for 20 bucks on Facebook Marketplace and it was $15 shipping. Facebook would subsidize that shipping. So I'd only pay 20 and they would cover the shipping for the sellers and pay them the full price. So I literally cleaned up. I bought like, I don't know, $5,000 worth of board games on Facebook Marketplace that year. I don't know if anyone's been around long enough to take advantage of that Facebook deal, but they subsidized all the shipping. So normally an item that would cost me 35, I was able to get it for 20 because I didn't have to pay the shipping. I went nuts. And that's how I kind of made the decision to get into eBay to Amazon because after that promotion went away on Facebook Marketplace, I was like, man, I want to keep spending all this money, but I can't anymore because now they're charging shipping. And that's when I started manually sourcing from eBay. And then that's when I found FlipMine and I was like, holy crap. And then I went crazy. And then I'm like, there's got to be a better way. And then I built Replen Catcher and then hired a bunch of virtual assistants to do it all. But it's pretty wild, the amount of deals that you can find. Sean says, always miss live chat. So glad you joined. Looking forward to the Walmart presentation with Amanda on the 25th. Yeah, Amanda, I've had a lot of people reach out to me in the Instagram DMs and Facebook because we promoted it over there, saying they're excited about Walmart. I think a lot of people are just like so tired of the BS on Amazon. I think there's like a couple reasons people are excited about Walmart. Number one, people just hate Amazon so much. I just had I have a life coach that I see once a week, and he's like, well, tell me about business and how everything's going. And I'm like, it's great, but like, I hate my life half the day because I'm so sick of Amazon, like the bullshit you have to deal with and the problems and the issues. And like, I got so worked up on the call before this call. He's like, dude, let's just stop talking about it, go into a meditation. So we ended up going into a meditation, but that's Amazon nowadays. Like, yes, you can make a ton of money, but you're going to want to Mike Tyson uppercut yourself very often. So on Walmart, there's a lot less BS. There's a lot less IP complaints. There's like reviews that happen, but I don't think there's like really nasty section threes that are happening. You could sell your items for more money, but I think the big thing is people want to diversify their income. They don't want all their eggs in one basket. And yeah, I'm excited for that presentation too. So that'll definitely be fun. Judith says, always have class when you, I can't see that. Share on Tuesdays, not today. Did you say you only sell DVDs? Hold on, let me read that again. Let's have class. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Judith. If you want to write that out one more time, I'm sorry. But I don't only sell DVDs, but I don't know if that question was towards me. I'm assuming it probably wasn't. Oh, new DVDs. Got you, got you. Yes, I have sold used DVDs in the past, Judith. But the reason I mostly sell new nowadays is, well, there's a couple reasons. Number one, they sell for a lot more money. So instead of me having to deal with like $20, $30 DVDs that don't make a lot of money, I could just deploy my capital towards like higher ticket items that make just as much money and less work. Number two, I don't have to inspect the items. So they're new sealed. So I don't have to open them up. I don't have to test them. I'm not going to have to deal with that. Some people are worried, like they think, oh, if you sell new DVDs, you're going to get kicked off. A lot of people say things with no experience. Like when I say things that like I've sold more DVDs from eBay to Amazon than probably anybody I know. I've never had like rarely any issues. Only one issue I've had, Judith, with a DVD, and that's because I was an idiot. I sold some like stretch DVD. I forget what it was called, but I got an IP complaint on it because the brand was on the listing, and I just was acting a fool. So I got an IP complaint, and I learned my lesson there. But also, I'm using a prep center, Judith. So I don't really want to be sending my prep center like used DVDs because then I have to trust them that they're gonna like give a damn. And while they're great, a prep center is like in business to move products out the door as fast as possible. So I don't think they're going to be, inspecting things really nice. Seth, Checkmate Flips, coach of Reselling Freedom, back in like 2022, he was sending all used electronics to a prep center like a crazy man. So funny. Seth looks so like innocent, but he's crazy. Like he's wild. And I mean that in a good way. Like he is just like balls of steel, but he was sending used electronics and stuff to a prep center. His return rate was like 18%. But the margins were so high. Was it higher than that, Amanda? Yeah, even higher than that. I'm not trying to make him look foolish because he's killing it. I mean, he's kicking my butt right now with eBay to Amazon. I mean, he's got a really amazing operation going on with merchant fulfilled and different things, but that kid is crazy in a good way. Leo says, how much are you paying for that life coach? I will be your life coach half the price. It's funny. I hired him off of Upwork. I think I told you about that, Amanda. Remember when I was like, I'm going to hire a life coach? I'm like, I'm having too much anxiety in my life. I need to talk to somebody. But he's only like $50 per hour. He lives out in like the UK, but he's great. So if you could do 25, Leo, then we got a deal. Can you sell used books and DVDs on Walmart? I don't think you can unless you get approved, right? I think you have to get approved for that. Maybe I'll unmute. I don't know if you're able to talk, Amanda, because I know you're probably juggling, 10 things right now. But I think if you get approved, you can sell used items. But I don't think Walmart really likes that too much.
Oh,
So
no. Yeah, they don't like Walmart doesn't like used items. They like new. You have to be approved to sell used items.
what do
So
you
your
know
question.
about Walmart? You're only selling $10,000 a month now. God, I'm so impressed by you. This girl freaking gets suspended on Amazon. Whole world goes to hell. Finds Walmart.
Yeah.
Says, you know what? Who's gonna stop me? She ain't gonna let
Yeah.
anybody stop her.
Yeah. Tell me I can't.
If you
Watch.
tell Amanda you can't, oh boy, whew, she's gonna undercut Leo and do 12.50 per hour to be my life coach. You can't be a life coach. All right. Well, thank you so much, Amanda. Appreciate you. Let's see. Is there any more questions? Anybody have any challenges or issues you guys have going on in your business? Don't ask me how to fix API issues. I don't know the answer. Don't ask me how to fix your stranded inventory. Uh-oh, Amanda's gonna ask me how to fix your stranded inventory.
No, I struggle with that too.
I
So
hired someone to do that.
it really intrigued me when you said you liquidate at like 2 or 3 months. Is that accurate? Because why not hold something for 6 months when you don't have to pay like storage fees? Or are you just really trying to get your capital back?
The way I look at it is like I could hold my so say I invest $100 in a DVD that I'm going to flip for like 170 or something. I'm giving a little bit of an
Yeah.
extreme example, but usually my average buy price is like 60. So whatever, say I spend 60, I'm going to flip something for 120. I could hold if that item has tanked in price or if Amazon came on the listing or something nasty is happening, obviously it's a case by case. You have to look into it. Like if it's only selling 2 times a month and like 5 sellers came on, like if I don't if yeah, maybe I could hold it for 6 months and I could make like a 35% ROI. But what if I just get rid of it like right now? Maybe I only make 20%, get my money back, and then put that money into something because I have over 5,000 replens. Again, I know some people are like, Steve, this doesn't help me, but I can only share what I'm doing. Like I have so many replens that I built over the last 4 years with eBay to Amazon. It's the same with all you guys. When you do this long enough, you're going to have all these replens. I'd rather put that money back into something that has a way better shot of selling very quickly because I have so many items that I could sell within 30 days or less. So, and then plus, if I do that for too many items, I'm not going to have like the cash flow in my business. Like I want to be able to pay myself, and not every month I can pay myself, especially like right now, these first couple months, I'm not really paying myself anything right now just because things are a little bit slower. I didn't really buy too much in December, so my sales are down a little bit. So typically, my cash flow increases as the year progresses, but I want my inventory moving. I want my cash in products that are going to be selling. If I see something, and I made a video about this on the YouTube channel, but essentially if my item doesn't say I'm trying to get like 50% ROI in an item, if it doesn't sell after 30 days, they'll drop it down to 30% ROI. They'll price it around there based on what's going on. If it doesn't sell after another 30 days, they'll usually drop it down to like break even. And then after
I,
3 months, we're just trying to move it. Like we're not trying to be stupid about it. And like I had mentioned on the call earlier, like if we're the lowest price at $48, we're not going to keep dropping it unless it's a really slow seller and Keepa shows that we overbought this item. Like we overpaid. This item really only sells for 40, but maybe there was an overinflated buy box that we thought we could get, but we didn't. So, but there's no right or wrong way to do it. And that's the difference between like booksellers. Booksellers are typically waiting for a lot longer, but they usually have better ROIs than eBay to Amazon flippers. Like your book mine ROIs are probably, well, I don't know. Do you have a lot of items that are over 100% all day long?
I try to go for about 50%. So yeah, some are, some aren't. So, but I
Do you
guess
have a lot?
I was just confused when you said liquidate. I guess when I figured when you said liquidate that you're selling it for at a big loss, but you're not. You're
Oh
either
no.
doing a 20% ROI or break even worst case.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
now that makes sense because to me that it makes sense to sell something at a severe loss. So that's my
You know what
bad.
my no, no, you're good. You're good. You know what my biggest losses typically come from? User error, like my VA makes a pricing mistake or Be Cool screws me over.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes every now and then these repricers they go like berserk. I use uh like my repricing model. How do I say this? I have a minimum price and I have a maximum price. So there's no way that it can go less than the minimum price, but sometimes it does. Like I had an item the other day that I don't want to say yelling at my VA, but I'm like, what the heck? Like this item we paid 100 to sell for 200 and it sold for 50. And she's like, I swear I didn't do it. Da, 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 da. I've learned to be nicer over the years. I mean, even when I used to do it, I made mistakes, probably more mistakes than the VAs. So I should be yelling at myself, but sometimes the person on my team will forget to put an extra zero or they'll delete a number or Be Cool will go crazy. So, But that's usually my biggest losses. It's not because we made a bad buy. It's just a silly mistake, you know? Um,
I
but
gotcha.
another,
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
yep, no problem. But another thing I wanted to mention to everybody as well, and I talk about this all the time, is when you are buying an item, you want to make sure that when you're calculating what you're going to sell it for, that you think that you can conservatively actually sell it for that item. So what I mean is like say you pay 30 bucks for a DVD and you see the buy box at 80. All because the buy box says it's $80 doesn't mean jack. Because the buy box might be at $80 because the product sold out and it went out of stock and then the first seller came on, didn't look at Keepa and just like, I'm going to shoot for 80. But if you look at Keepa, it's selling for 45, $50 all day long, right? Or one of the problems with Replen Catcher and even Flipmine is there's a functionality with it where it will show you the information based on like the last captured value that they've gotten from Keepa. And that's not always accurate. Things are changing so quickly that Replay Catcher Flipmine might tell you you could sell it for 80. But I always say this, and Replay Catcher is my software, and I say this and I shit on it too. Like you can't trust any software. Like these softwares are limited greatly by Amazon's API, by the data on Keepa. So you always want to verify what's actually happening on Amazon. Where's the buy box? Where's the current market? What are people selling it for? And what's Keepa telling you? You know, all because the buy box is 80 doesn't mean you can sell it for 80. I've had times in the past where we've spent $40 on a DVD and my team saw the buy box was 80. This was probably 2 years ago before they're really good now. They're even better than I am at sourcing because they have so much experience. But they would see the buy box at 80 and they'd pay 40, but they were, how do I say it? They were supposing like they thought they could sell it for 80, but really that item really only sold for 60 bucks all day long. So what happens? It doesn't sell at 80 and then we have to lower it to 70 and then it sells for 55. And then they used to say, well, I'm sorry, sir. Like we bought it based on the buy box, but then you got to teach them the buy box doesn't mean anything. Like my house might be worth $400,000. I could put, maybe there's no houses available in my neighborhood. I could list it for $800,000. It doesn't mean anyone's going to pay it. You know, but if you go on Zillow, it's going to say $800,000. And the average person's going to say, if you talk to the average person on the street and you say, how much is that house worth over there? Oh, well, I looked on Zillow. It's worth $800,000. But they're not the one who has to buy it. So they don't care. They're just going to say that's what it's worth. And it's the same on Amazon with the buy box. Oh, it's worth 80. Why? Because it says 80. Amazon wouldn't put $80 if it wasn't worth 80. But there's a difference between what it's priced at versus what the market is willing to pay for an item. The market's not going to buy my little crap house for $800,000. It ain't worth $800,000. So that's just a big lesson right there. When you're doing eBay to Amazon, when you're doing Amazon to Amazon, and Joji Davenport says this best, you want to sell items at their true intrinsic value. It's a little different though with booksellers versus, people who are selling DVDs and electronics and tools like me, because with books, there tends to be a really, really wide gap between like the merchant price used versus like the used buy box. Typically when you're selling new, that gap isn't as big. So you don't really have to worry as much about looking at the overall lowest new offer versus the buy box. They tend to be a lot closer versus with books. There's such a discrepancy. There's such a big difference in the price. That's why a lot of people got exposed, when this used buy box issue happened over the last couple of weeks, because people were overpaying for their items and they were trying to take advantage of these overinflated buy box prices. And there's just such a big difference between the merchant prices used versus the FBA prices used. But a lot of that doesn't apply so much to what I do in my business. Leo says I go for 40 to 50%, but quite often I get 90 to 100% on it. That's great. And I'm guessing 10% of book flips, mostly on books over 200, like air conditioning books. Oh yeah, those niche books. Just bought one for 100, sells for 275 to 300. I do sell a lot. That's incredible. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm curious. Judith was asking Leo, where did you find the air conditioning book? Are you buying it on eBay? Are you using Amazon, Keep a Deals, Book Mine, thrift stores? Maybe maybe Amanda's liquidating her inventory on Amazon, going all Walmart, giving Leo all the deals. Maybe giving Leo some books for some free life coaching, possibly. That would be a good deal. Yeah, Paul, I'm using Be Cool as my repricer. Let's see what I sold today. See if I have any good sales that I can share today as some more questions come in. 11 sales today for $1,000. Like I said, at about $100 ASP, usually every day. Let's see what I sold today. Anything good? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what this equates to, but I sold a DVD. I paid 22 and I sold it for $1,077 Mexican pesos. So I don't know what that equates to. I don't know what that equates to. But I actually I don't know if any of you guys are selling in Mexico, but that's my second best sales. It's not like anything, it's probably only like 5% of my actual sales, but I've been getting a lot of sales from Mexico. What is this? I sold a Viewpoint cartridge for 42. I sold some outdoor LED floodlights. I sold two of them for 82. A lot of electronics. External modem I sold, paid 25, sold 56. Sold a Scrabble twist, paid 19, sold it for 48.97. Sold a Eaton monitoring probe, paid 100, sold it for 205. Bought a Lego set superheroes for 58, sold it for 145. Sold a Mattel Disney Planes crop hopper die cast, paid, this is interesting. It says one of them I sold for 64 and another one I sold for 94.99. That's interesting. They put the orders under the same order. Oh, so one customer bought, oh, I get it. One customer bought a Disney plane for 64 that I paid 32 for, and then they bought another Disney plane that I paid 45 and sold for 94. That's interesting. I rarely see that. So a customer on Amazon went through my store and bought a few things. That's interesting. Hmm. Dills Deals says, "Yep, I did that in Marketplace too. Awesome, awesome. Flip mine. Awesome. How large is your inventory? Let me take a look. I think I have like 400 something. Oh wow, look at that. 318 offers. Three, you guys aren't going to be able to see that, but 318. Is that incredible? Only 318 items. I think, what am I at? 46. Hold on, let's see what my 30-day is. My numbers are down a little bit right now, but all right, my phone's not working. Let me try to think. I'm at 46,000 for the last 30 days. It's a little bit slow because in December I stopped buying just because I just wanted to improve my cash flow, show some really good numbers for 2024. Plus, the year before items weren't checking in, so I was like, I don't want to be waiting. Um, but yeah, we're starting to pick up. Yeah, 44,870. So it's last month was really bad. It was like 20 something thousand because I pretty much sold out of everything. I think I was under 100 inventory by the end of December. I sold out of almost all my inventory. So we're kind of picking back up again here. But yeah, I keep a lean, mean machine, Judith. I don't like having a lot of inventory, Judith. You know why I don't like having a lot of inventory? Because it's more problems with stranded inventory. It's more repricing. It's more high pricing errors. It's just more items I have to ship to the prep centers. I mean, I just like to keep it lean, lean and green. But Steve, that is very unusual. I have a small inventory also. Yeah. I mean, it used to be cool to have a big inventory back in like 2018, 2020, 2021, but Amazon's made so many changes now. Like I, I get coaching calls with people who, I'm not even kidding. They have 2, 3, 4, 5,000 books in their inventory right now, and they're doing $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. And they're like, what should I do? And it's a tough position because the reality is a lot of those books are junk. If you have that much inventory and you're not selling, if you're selling 1,000 or 2,000 with that much inventory, you got a big problem. Like either A, you're going to have to, a lot of these people don't have repricers as well. And that's a big, big problem because now you're going to start getting hit with long-term storage fees. A lot of those books, Amazon probably won't even take into the liquidation program. So you're either going to have to pay them. What does it cost now for Amazon to destroy your inventory? It used to be 50 cents. It's probably over $1 now. They're so freaking crazy. So you're either gonna have to pay 50 cents or $1 plus for them to destroy it, whatever it is, or you're gonna have to pay $2 to $5 to have those items, each individual item shipped back to your house, which I wouldn't recommend. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of having a big inventory. I think that's why it's so important to understand how to read Keepa charts and to have a repricer, to have a system in place. If you don't have a repricer, to go in and reprice your inventory. No, a 13% sell-through rate's not very good at all. You know, you're probably selling books, I would assume. But from my understanding, I would say, for books, you want to keep it over 20% sell-through rate. If you're doing thrift stores and stuff like that. For me and my business in 2024, it was almost 100% sell-through rate. It didn't mean I sold every single one of my items, but in 2024, I was moving my inventory in about a month. I was moving my inventory very, very quickly. But you guys have to understand that's not a good comparing my model to a thrifting model. Those are two completely different models. And if you're thrifting or even doing like seasonal books, you're going to have a longer sell-through cycle. It's just a different game. I'm playing a different game. So it's not fair, like Suzanne, for me to be like, oh, look at me, I have 100% sell-through rate, which, I think right now, let me see. I don't even know if I can pull this up on GoToList or on the app, but I'm definitely over a 50% sell-through rate now, probably closer to an 80% sell-through rate, but it's a different game, right? When you're doing eBay to Amazon, you're cherry picking. I'm flipping items that are profitable now. I'm not buying a book ridiculously undervalued during, December to flip it in August for textbook season, right? Just as an example, it's just a different game. So Leo says I'm selling 300 items a month, grossing 15K. So you're probably over a 25% sell-through rate, Leo. That's solid. But yeah, 13% is way too low. Unless you're getting, if your sell-through rate's at 13%, there's a problem. There's definitely a problem. I would make sure you implement a good repricing strategy. I would also implement a manual repricing strategy. I wouldn't fully trust your repricer. I'd go in and couple times a month, really, cut the prices, or maybe some books that have tanked in price that aren't coming back, that aren't going to make any money if they sell. I would just liquidate them, get rid of them. Don't be paying long-term storage fees. You could go into your Amazon analytics and you can see what books or what products have been in there for like certain periods of time. So you could go in and you can start to kick out the stuff that, is going to be hitting long-term storage fees or isn't selling. But yeah, I think that's all I've got today. I know we're a little over the time right now, but yeah, thanks so much everybody for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks, Amanda. Thanks, Judith. Appreciate you guys. Suzanne, Roger, Angela, Tony, Jerry, Paul. Thank you so much. Adam, what's going on? But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Much love. Bye-bye. Thank you.